What's up, guys? Welcome back to Burn the Ship, the podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to go all in on their business. And today we have on Donna Young, the owner of the Magnolia Market. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you so much for asking me to come. We're quite honored to be here with you today.
I'm so glad that you took the time out of your day. So tell me a little bit about your business. How'd you start?
Yeah, we are Magnolia Market, home decor and more. You know, when you say Magnolia Market, many folks kind of do that whole Joanna Gaines, situation. That's not us. That would be lovely, but no. So we're home decor and more. You have to add that on the end. We're located in Hiram, and then we just opened a second location in August of last year. In Dallas, so we'll get into that in just a little bit. But I have a business partner. Her name is Deanna Babb. She and I were both independent vendors in this. It's an antique mall. We were both vendors, and the former owner decided that they were ready to retire, and were going to close the business or sell the business, or decide what they wanted to do with next steps. And so we just felt like we couldn't let that happen. We did not even know each other at that time. We were both in the mall, but never really ran into each other. Crazy. So we got together, met, decided we wanted to do this together. And so we went all in. We took it over in May of 2022. It had been there for 5 years under previous owners, and then prior to that, it had been more of a thrift store, almost pallet sales, if you know, that salvage, that kind of thing. We had a vision for the business of to upscale it somewhat, to make it more customer experience friendly, to really do those extra pieces, changing the music that plays. Making sure we have cookies and candy and flowers, and just whether the person comes through your door and buys something or not, we want them to have a positive experience and to remember that experience when they come back. Every time you can do a customer touch point that makes them remember you do it. We're not the only antique mall around in the 3-4 county area, but we like to think that we're doing a little bit extra here and there, and it's paying off. We have about 60 vendors. We are open 7 days a week, so that's quite the commitment. We have a great staff, knowledgeable staff, and so we're experiencing it. We're going to have our 3rd anniversary in May, so we're all in, and we are every day learning, every day tweaking, every day making adjustments. Whether it be our social media or an event or a promotion or something else to get folks through the door.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that you guys had a different location besides the one in Dallas.
It's baby. It's a baby location. It's a much smaller footprint store, only about 1,500 square feet. But we've got some really, really cute vendors in there, some items that you're not going to find in other places. That's what makes Magnolia Market special to us, is that we don't have a lot of that wholesale to retail look like Pier 1 or Hobby Lobby or things like that. Our vendors do a lot of upscaling of items, homemade items, furniture flips, things like that. So they're not all the same type of vendors, and I think that certainly helps drive the traffic as well. It's being diversified, having a variety of things for people, because we want to attract 20-somethings and 80-somethings.
Right. Give that broad range.
Absolutely. And we will also want people to feel like they can come into our shop and be able to add a picture or a vase or florals or something that will give their space a whole new look without spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. You can come in and get a few pieces and spend $100 and feel like your room had a makeover.
Right. You can go to Anthropologie and spend hundreds of dollars on this same exact mirror that somebody sells down the road for half the price.
Absolutely. So we want people to have a good quality product, but also the variety and the ability to switch things up even seasonally. or sometimes, if you're at home and you're like, oh, I can't. I've had that same pillow on that same chair for 8 years. Okay, it's time. Come look.
Time to switch it up.
Yes, absolutely.
So you've had I'm assuming a decent experience switching from company to you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
How did that go? How did that process go for you?
That process is always a scary process, as you know. That's why we're here talking. I think you have to just be willing and understand what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and surround yourself with people who have those opposite strengths. Like Deanna and I are very different in personality. She is I always tell her she's way sweeter than me. I can be a little bit on the edge, but it works well for us. I mean, that we balance each other out. We may not always agree, but we're able to work through. So for people who don't have a partner, I think it's relying on yourself to resource those people, to have a support system that, an advisor, a mentor, a coach, if you will, to help you in areas where you're not fully up to speed, so to speak. We can't be experts in everything, but we can have passion, we can have motivation, we can have a work ethic, and we can succeed.
Yeah, that's great advice just in general, not even like business wise. I know that like people in relationships, most of the, like they say opposites attract.
Yes. So
you need someone to not be if you're the overzealous person, you need someone to level you out.
Absolutely.
So it's relationships and business.
Yeah, business relationships, romantic relationships, family relationships. We all just need to recognize each other's strengths, what we bring to the table, and play on that. And then there are aspects of our business that neither one of us are super strong in. And so we're not afraid to reach out to our financial people or our social media people or whoever it might be, to kind of give us that boost, help us get over that question or teach us. I think that's another thing to do is remain teachable. I mean, you certainly have to believe in yourself and know that there's going to be some sleepless nights and some sweat equity and things like that. But at the end, you like I said, motivation and passion can carry you a long way. Just, you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You've heard that quote. But you do have to surround yourself with people that can shore up your areas where you're not quite there yet. Yeah. You'll get there.
If you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
Yeah, you need to get a new room. That's right.
Absolutely.
Sure. Absolutely.
So what do you feel like in your business? What was the most difficult thing that you felt like you had to overcome developing your business?
Well, I think buying an existing business, is certainly challenging as opposed to startup. So you kind of inherit, when you buy a business, you've sort of inherited attitudes and biases and things like that you have to overcome. Like, well, that's not the way we've always done it. Haven't we all heard that before? But this has been part of our process, is to say we're trying to make these changes for the best, to benefit the business. And for us, it's a different situation too, because we're relying on our vendors to have quality products, and our job is to manage that and to drive the traffic and to keep it interesting and keep it out there. So that's a different little balance than a startup would be. So we had some income initially, from vendor rents, but we wanted to change that up, get that more in line. So that never comes easy to say, I'm a new owner and here's your rate increase. That's a little sticky sometimes, but we've been able to work through that and attract the right type of vendors for the look and the feel that we like for the store. So there's always a challenge. There's always something to navigate, a personality difference, but you do it.
It's a determination. You're looking at end goal, not looking at I'm going to have to jump through all of these hoops to be end game.
Yeah,
it's
a marathon. It's not a sprint. And you can get lost in the weeds and being overwhelmed. But it's one day at a time, one task at a time, one customer at a time. on a certain level, and then having those, and you hate to keep, do these cliches, but having a 1-year plan, having a 3-year plan, having a 5-year plan, even if those are constantly fluid and constantly shifting, that is how you're going to move from point A to point B. Know where you want to go, and breaking that down into steps, and then just sometimes, you're going to go, here's a curve in the road, and what am I going to do now? So, yeah, but again, I can't tell you how much, and she and Deanna and I both feel like just the passion for the product, the passion for the customer, wanting to make an impact, wanting every person who, whether they make a purchase today or not, feels like, I want to go back there,
Yeah, 100%. And that's what makes a small business a great business. So, like, we are an independently owned merchant service company, but you can sign up with us or not. Let's just have a relationship. Let's be referral partners.
Absolutely.
Let's do that. It's about the relationships that you make with people that can, at the end of the day, be really fruitful for the business.
Absolutely.
So we make sure to always, let's be friends.
Absolutely.
Like, come to our events. Let's come to yours.
Yes.
Let's give, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, even if it's not,
and there's not
business.
And not right. And then having the mentality that there's enough. There's enough business. There's enough people to go around. We don't have to kill our competition. You can sort of love your competition, and you can refer folks over. No, we don't have that item here, but I know that X store does, and they're going to reciprocate that. There's enough. There's enough.
Yeah, enough to go around. What I think is really special about your business is because you use other small businesses in your business.
Yes.
And that's why we started this podcast, is because we didn't want small businesses like us to go underway during COVID, when nobody can meet face to face.
Yes.
You couldn't go to networking events. You couldn't do so many things. So we started the podcast just to really promote other businesses, because we don't want anybody to go down.
No.
So you promoting small businesses just within your shop is that's super cool, and there's not many places that do that. That's
a message that we tell to our vendors and potential vendors. This is your little business. Treat it like you were the big business. It's our job to kind of nurture new vendors, and it's a scary thing. If people think, I'll just open a booth and it'll just be easy. I'll throw my stuff in there and, it'll sell and I'll make $1 million and it'll all be great. Well, not quite that easy, not quite that easy. So having the right, coaching them on the right presentation and the right variety and shopability, if you will, for us. We're a brick and mortar retail store. There's a lot of brick and mortar retail stores. So we have to find those little ways to set ourselves apart. And so we do a lot of coaching. We do a lot of nurturing of folks that, are just wanting to make a little start, and it may be someone younger, who's like, I would love to have my own store someday, but I want to start with this, right? So that we can hopefully model the appropriate behavior for that. Or it could be someone who's retired and they're not really ready to retire, and they want to, dip their toe in the vendor mall, piece. And they need just as much coaching and nurturing as your young folks. So, that's what makes our jobs fun. That's what makes it different every day, to see what they bring in, to see how they, how they go about their individual little baby businesses inside our business. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's a very interesting industry. I worked in fashion and that stuff for a really long time, and I've definitely seen people come in and out because they get to the hard part and then they're just too hard. And
it's not easy.
Bail.
No, but I don't think it's true of life. If everybody did everything, if it was easy,
right.
It's not always easy. But the rewards are there, certainly. They may not be financial at first, but, with enough tenacity and passion and motivation, it'll pay off. It will.
Well, I appreciate you telling me that. And our audience can definitely learn a lot from you.
Aw.
So where can everyone reach you?
Well,
like your brick and mortar
Yeah, my
locations,
brick and-
as
yep.
well as all of your
Yep.
social
We have-
media,
Yeah,
everything.
great. The main store, we call it, is 45 Darby's Crossing in Hiram. And then the new store, we call it Magnolia Market 2, TOO, not the number 2. That's 8774 Dallas Ackworth Highway, Suite 3. So for folks in that area, it's over in the Cedar Crest, that sort of area. We do have the McIntyre's Bakery kiosk inside that store. So I think so many people in your audience base will know McIntyre's Bakery and probably know that location. So the main store is open 7 days a week. The new store is just open Tuesday through Saturday. But we'll have that store up fully staffed and open on Sundays first and then gradually into 7 days a week. But our email address, I'm going to read this so everybody knows. Our email address is magnoliamarket19@gmail.com. Facebook is Magnolia Market GA, capital GA. And then our Instagram is @MagnoliaMarketGA, capitals GA. Yes, so come see us. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. Your insight's great.
Oh.
It's always interesting to talk to a boutique owner, market owner, because what you do is really special and definitely important to like our community, especially representing other businesses within yours.
Well, I appreciate that.
So if you have one thing that you can tell our aspiring entrepreneurs, what would your advice be for burning their ship and going all in on a business, dropping their 9-to-5 salary job and really investing in themselves? What would your advice be?
Do your homework. When they say have a business plan, have a business plan. Make sure, we started with 6 months expenses. Make sure you've got money, to pay 6 months worth of expenses if you never made a sale, right? Give yourself that. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Have that passion, have that motivation, believe in yourself, and just go big.
Feel the fear and do it anyways. Somebody put that on a freaking card.
We need that on a t-shirt.
That's great. Yeah, literally. But thank you so much, Donna. And everybody, please go out to the Magnolia Market in both of the locations. Check out everything in the description. And thank you so much for coming in and spending time with me. I appreciate you guys.
Much. We'll see everybody soon.